Hi guys, it's Kino. Welcome to another video. So in today's pick a card reading, we are going to be looking at a channeled letter from your future self. I am so excited to do this reading today. There's just something about readings about the relationship with yourself and your growth and your evolution and what you have to look forward to that just makes me so excited. I have a really big list of everything we're going to be looking at today, and the list kept growing. Like, I started it last night, and even this morning I was adding little things to it, like, oh my gosh, we have to look at that too. So we're gonna get into it. I'll show you guys the full breakdown once you choose your group, but I did want to yap a little bit about something. Obviously, this is a reading from me, a third person who is channeling messages from your future self. But if this is not something you already do, I really recommend the practice of connecting with and speaking directly to your future self and your past self, because it's just this really beautiful realization of how all the versions of you are existing at the same time and working in unison and communicating with each other and sending love to each other through time. And I'm also a firm believer that your future self is one of your most influential and powerful spirit guides. Of course, we have other spirit guides who give us messages and guidance and who send us love and strength along our journey. But oftentimes I feel like, especially when things are tough, like when we feel a little bit lost, when we feel like we're losing hope, and then we find that strength to carry on, somehow I feel like that's our future self talking to us in the past and letting us know that everything's going to be okay and letting us know to keep going. And oh my gosh, you have no idea the beautiful things that are in store for you. I really feel like that's our future self giving us a boost. I've talked about this before, but a while ago I found a journal that I had written when I was a teenager. I was 15, I want to say, and it was so beautiful to read back and have this experience of connecting to myself and recognizing parts of me that are still very much alive and other parts of me that I'd kind of lost along the way that my 15-year-old self got to remind me about through this journal. And just to see how much passion I had and how much sparkle in my eyes I had when I was looking at life and looking at my dreams, there was definitely some of that energy I wanted to get back. So I was really grateful to my past self for leaving that for me. And then I wrote a new journal sort of as a letter to my past self, because there were so many things past me only dreamed of at that time. And I got to write to her and let her know, like, hey, we did it, and thank you so much for never giving up, and I'm so proud of you. And sometimes I wonder, was past me able to keep going because present me was sending her that energy and encouragement? And am I able to keep going now because future me is sending me encouragement? So I sort of feel like claiming your energy from all points of the timeline is really powerful, and I highly encourage everyone to, at least semi-regularly, take that time to connect with and send love to your future self, because you never know how it could affect you in the future. And then, like, maybe you'll get to the future and feel that love that you sent right now. I don't know, it's kind of trippy to talk about, but anyway, that's my yap session. Thank you for coming. Let's get into your option selection. So there are 3 cards to choose from today, and these are actually images that I cut out from a box of tea bags. My friend gave me tea for my birthday, and the 3 different flavors of tea had different tarot cards as their image. So I'm going to show you each of these up close, and then I'll also tell you what the flavor of tea is for each one. I would also say when choosing your group, if you want to receive a message from a version of you at a specific point in the future, just keep that in mind when you're choosing. So for example, if you want to hear from a version of you that exists in 3 years from now, keep that time frame in your mind while you're choosing, and there may be a certain one that calls out to you. But of course, you can also leave it open to any point in the future. If you feel drawn to more than one group today, that is totally fine. Whether you feel drawn to 2 or maybe even all 3, there could be multiple messages from future you. There could even be messages from different points in the future, if that makes sense. So anyway, without further ado, let's get a close-up look at each of your options. For my group number 1s, we have the Sun card, and this tea flavor is orange and apricot. For my group number 2s, we have the Moon card, and this tea flavor is lemon and grapefruit. And for my group number 3s, we have the Star card, and this tea flavor is apple and white peach. Okay, so as always, take all the time you need to pick. You can pause the video if you need to. I'm gonna go ahead and get started with number 1. Hi number 1s, so if you guys chose the Sun card, which is the image for the orange apricot tea, this is going to be your reading. I just wanted to share something with you. Before I started filming your group, I was doing a bit of DJing practice, and I finally nailed a transition, and I was so excited. And the reason I want to share this with you is because I had this idea in my head of what I wanted to do, but it was just a matter of getting my hands to do the right thing at the right time. It was a matter of execution and being able to multitask and coordinate my movements. And so I wanted to invite you to claim that energy for yourself of getting the skills necessary to execute an idea that is in your head and like finally being able to do it. Maybe that is a message from your future self. So let's take a look at the full breakdown of this reading. So we have the reading here on YouTube as well as an extended. On YouTube, of course, we are going to start by reading the channeled letter from your future self, which I have sealed with a sun. And then we are going to just look at your future self's overall energy. Then we're going to get into some specific questions. So we're going to see, where are they? What are they doing in terms of work-related stuff? What are they doing in terms of non-work related stuff? What do they look like? Who is with them? What do they value or cherish? And why they are proud of you. And then we also have the extended, which is available either on Patreon or Vimeo, so you can choose whichever platform works better for you. In the extended reading, we are going to see what is the biggest difference between this future version of you and the present you. We are going to see what your future self advises you to do in order to align with them more quickly or more smoothly. What they advise you not to do so that you can align with them more quickly and smoothly. And then we are going to answer 3 yes or no questions. So I had this idea of allowing you to fill in the blank of what the yes or no question will be. You might want to ask all of these. You might want to ask just one. I think I'm going to put timestamps in the extended. So like if you don't want to ask one of these or you already got your answer, you can skip it. But we're going to do 3. So the first one is, did I end up doing XYZ? Like, did I end up doing that thing that I was talking about doing? Did I end up doing that thing that I was always saying I want to do? Number 2 is blank a significant part of my life? So this could be a person, it could be a particular activity, a particular energy. You can ask future you, did this end up being an important part of my life in the future? And then question 3 is, did blank end up happening? So this one doesn't even necessarily have to be about you. You could ask future you if they made a Shrek 8. You could ask anything like, did this thing end up happening, yes or no? So those are the 3 things we're gonna ask future you. And that's the whole reading that we have for you today. So thank you very much for being here, and let's get into it, starting with your channeled letter. Dear Your Name, I want you to know that I feel very connected to you, especially at this time in my life. I think about you a lot and how hard you worked for me, how you pushed through the confusion and sometimes exhaustion. How am I doing over here? Well, let me tell you, we are very much enjoying the fruits of our labor. And not just in the material sense. Because of the sacrifices you're making now, we have a lot of freedom in the future. You won't have to worry about life being too hectic or stressful because it will be up to you how much or how little you take on. Sometimes I do wish we had figured that out sooner. Taking care of your physical body and physical surroundings will bring you a lot of happiness. It's not about changing your body or changing houses, but taking care of the one you have. You're an inspiration to me and so many others. Just wait, you'll see. Winky face. Love, future you. So it really felt like this is a version of you in the future who has achieved the things that you are working on right now. So it's like they're coming back to let you know, we did it, we were successful, and now I'm enjoying the fruits of our labor for us. And they mentioned, I'm saying they, but it's you, obviously. Future you feels especially connected to you. And there was sort of this feeling that future you is going to reminisce a lot about the current version of you and what your life is currently like, and will forever feel very connected to this version of you that exists right now, because I feel like what you're doing right now is really laying the foundations. All the hard work you're putting in right now, you're laying the foundations for future you to truly thrive. And future you is acknowledging that it wasn't always easy, that sometimes you didn't really know what you were doing and you felt lost, and sometimes you were very, very tired, but you just kept pushing through. There was even a feeling that in the future, you might look back on the present moment and realize like, yeah, I was pretty freaking exhausted. Like I was low-key burnt out. Some of you may be going through a bit of a period of exhaustion or burnout and maybe not even realize it. That was coming through for some of you. They're enjoying the fruits of your labor in the material sense. So this definitely gave me a sense that future you has gone through a lifestyle upgrade. Like they have money, they have the material possessions that they want, and they also enjoy a lot of freedom. And they mentioned that the sacrifices you are currently making, maybe you're foregoing comfort or you're foregoing some pleasurable experiences to invest in your future. And they want to thank you for that, because now future you has a lifestyle that allows them a lot of freedom. Especially, it seems that future you can choose how much or how little they work, how much or how little they commit to. So they don't have to be at the mercy of life, of like, oh my gosh, what if my schedule gets really full and really crazy? What if my workload gets super demanding and it's like more than I can take on? Future you is like, oh, we don't have to worry about that, because our life is set up that like if we're starting to get overwhelmed, we can just choose to do less. And I think that's a freedom that future you is very grateful for. And they were sort of hinting that there's a time where you do have the freedom to take on less, but you might not realize it. and sort of keep overextending yourself when you don't need to, but you'll figure it out. Future you will figure it out. Yeah, and then their last piece of advice to you is to take care of your physical body, take care of your physical surroundings, rather than seeking to change your body or change your surroundings. Like, you know, I'm gonna do this procedure, just for example, or like, I'm gonna move houses to feel more comfortable. There was sort of a feeling of water your garden, you know, nurture what you have right now and you will be happy, rather than trying to change it. This is maybe a specific message just for some of you, but I did get the feeling for those of you who are considering changing something about your body or changing something about your appearance. It kind of felt like future you was saying we didn't end up doing that because like we just didn't feel the need to, and found joy taking care of ourselves the way we are now. And I did also kind of get the feeling for those of you who have like a dream house you want to live in, or a dream city or part of town that you want to live in. Future you's kind of like, we're not there yet. We're not there yet, but we're getting there, and let's enjoy where we are now. Yeah. Oh yeah, and then they said that you're an inspiration to them. You're an inspiration to future you, which I think is really sweet. I genuinely feel like they're going to look back on this time of your life where you are right now a lot and take a lot of inspiration from it, because current you is so strong and determined. Like when you set your mind to something, you're gonna make it happen. And the strength and perseverance and determination that you're displaying right now in the present moment is going to inspire future you for years to come. Like, I really did that. I'm so badass and I know that I can do anything. And they're also hinting that in the future, it will be made known to you that you inspired many, many people, or like you will become someone who inspires many, many people in the future. Just you wait and see. So that was their letter. I'm just gonna leave it to the side here. And yeah, I also want to roll some dice to see future you's overall energy. We have the number 11, which corresponds to the 11th house. So one area of your life that is going to change a lot in this future timeline, and I just saw 1111. So, and your group number 1. We have group number 1, 11, and I just saw 1111. If you see repeating ones, that could be your future self communicating with you. But an area of your life that's going to be changing a lot is your community and your network. I feel like there's a shrinking of your community and then growing it again. And the visual I'm seeing, it's like when you prune, I think is the word, when you prune a plant, you cut off the leaves so that healthier leaves can grow back. So there's like a shrinking of your social circle and then growing it again, but in a more deliberate way. And I'm hearing the word auspicious, like you're going to be surrounded by very auspicious people, very successful people. And I'm also hearing you're going to be exposed to many different kinds of success, because there's so many different ways to define success. So like, you're not going to be surrounded by people who all manifested monetary success and like that's their one, you know what I mean? Like you're going to see all different kinds of success, all different kinds of abundance around you. And that's going to help you decide what success really means to you. But yeah, I see you maybe in a new or different friend group, or like networking more, having auspicious connections in your life. We also have Neptune. Oh yeah, group number 1, you are living out your Delulu dreams in the future. And we also have the sign of Aries. So Neptune actually just entered into Aries. So honestly, that probably isn't a very telling sign of when in the future this is, because Neptune's going to be in Aries for a long ass time. But I do think that you are living your Delulu dreams and you're living authentically, and all that your dreams ask of you is to be exactly who you are. You don't have to be someone else to live your dreams, because that is just, it fundamentally does not make sense. Like, obviously your dream life is going to be tailored to your most authentic version. I think something that future you has really embraced and really figured out is that I don't change myself, I just evolve myself. You know, like a baby sunflower changes in the sense that it grows into a big sunflower. It doesn't change in the sense that it becomes a tulip. So I think future you is just not trying to be anything that they're not. They're just trying to grow and evolve into different versions of who they already are, if that makes sense. Okay, so we are going to shuffle some cards for future you's energy. So we have two coming out, and then the Aries die switched over to Aquarius. We have the Fool and the Moon. Interesting, the Moon was the card selection for group 2. So some of you may have been drawn to group 2 as well. The way they came out is funny too, because the Moon is like, it's murky, it's vague, it's confusing, and the Fool just takes a leap of faith. So future you is definitely not afraid of uncertainty, is not afraid of the unknown. This is like, I'm only giving you some clues, I'm only giving you some instructions, the future is unclear, and you're like, let's do it, and just dive right into it. So if you're the type of person who feels like you need to know all the details before starting on a path, you want to have everything figured out, future you is not like that. They're not afraid of uncertainty at all. In fact, it might be kind of thrilling for future you. I think that future you, I'm hearing like future you has developed a fascination with the unconscious mind and is not afraid of it. They get a lot of inspiration from the unconscious. What else should we know about future you? Future you may have a dog, because I just seeing the Fool with their little canine companion, and there's dogs on the Moon card as well. What else should we know about future you? We have Jupiter with Grow and Expand. That makes a lot of sense. What else should we know about future you? Yeah, we have abundance. Jupiter, that's another keyword that you'll often see with Jupiter, abundance. Growth, expansion, abundance. This angel is literally holding so much money, it's falling out of her hands. So you are going to have more than you need. You are going to have more than you know what to do with. That's for sure. Some of you could specifically have a white companion animal, because I'm just noticing the Fool has a white dog and this child has a white horse. You could have a white animal who is on the other side watching over you, or a sort of spirit animal who is white. Okay, I'm gonna get 2 for this one. how can you walk through your fears to free yourself? And yeah, these go together so well, because I was literally gonna say with this, how can you walk through your fears to free yourself? For those of you who are wondering, like, how did I become this person who is not afraid of uncertainty? Future you is saying, I just did it. Like, how I became unafraid of taking leaps of faith is I just did it afraid. So the first time I did it scared shitless. And then the second time I did it a bit less scared. And then the third time I did it mildly uncomfortably. Like, as I did it more and more and more, the fear became less and less and less. That's how you walk through your fears. You just do it. And then the next card that came out is trust is a muscle. It's like the first time you pick up a weight, your muscles hurt like hell. The second time, they don't hurt as much. The third time, they don't hurt at all. And in fact, they're getting a little bit bigger. It's just practice. It's not a magical secret. Allow yourself to let go and know that what is meant for you is coming. Yeah. So future you is like, I'm just doing it scared. I'm just doing it not knowing what's going to happen. And that's what leads to their growth and expansion and abundance. I think future you is not afraid of taking risks, and they're not afraid of failure. I just heard the worst thing that could happen is I look stupid. I don't know what that's in reference to. Maybe that's for those of you who are afraid of judgment. And future you is like, so what? Like, imagine judging someone for trying something new. Imagine judging someone for pursuing their dreams. Like, trust me, bro, if you go after your dreams and you fail and people make fun of you, you're not the loser in that situation. Trust me. I'm just saying. All right, so let's get into the specifics. Where are you? Where is future you? When I said, where are you? I heard, where are you? And I'm so sorry. Okay, anyway, where are you? Where are you? Where are you? This could be the best day. What is that song? I don't know who that is. The first one is definitely Blink 182. Wow, where are you? Where are you? Group 1 in the future. We have the 9 of Pentacles. Very interesting that it was taking some time to come out because, and I just saw 2222, because I was getting the feeling with the letter that wherever it is you dream of living, future you was saying we're not quite there yet. And maybe, now you could be in the vicinity, don't get me wrong. So like if you had a dream to live in, why do I want to say Toronto? Sure. Let's say you had a dream to live in Toronto for some reason. Maybe you made it to the greater Toronto area. You're just not like in the neighborhood. Like there's this neighborhood that you love the vibe, or like you want to live in this penthouse. Like it's just, we're not quite at the ideal living situation yet. but we're getting there. That was the feeling. And so I think with that shuffling taking time, future you has acknowledged that it's going to take some time to reach that goal, but they're okay with it because they know that they're steadily making progress. Nine of Pentacles is definitely another indication of your financial situation improving and steadily growing. There's another white animal by your side. I don't know, there's something about a white companion animal in your future or who's watching over you from the other side. Yeah, it seems like you're in the vicinity of where you want to be and like saving up and making moves so that you can secure your ideal living situation. You have the funds. You have the funds. I don't know, maybe it's a logistics thing. There's also a sense of independence with the Nine of Pentacles. Some of you could have your own place. What are you doing in the work sense? We have the Eight of Cups, okay? And what are you doing in the non-work sense? The Ace of Cups. Ooh, I like how these came out, where it looks like the Eight of Cups person is walking towards the Ace of Cups. So future you walked away from something in your career journey to pursue happiness. This is sort of giving, I don't dream of labor. So that could resonate for some of you. But whatever in your current career situation was not bringing you joy or was draining you or tiring you out, I think you've walked away from it. And I also just think in general, mentally and emotionally, work and your career journey takes up less space in your head, in your life. Something I actually see often with the Nine of Pentacles as well is a well-rounded and balanced life. You know, obviously it's a Pentacles card, which can talk about money and career and stuff, but I just get this feeling with the Nine of Pentacles, someone who has a beautiful balance between work and play and rest, family, friends, alone time, travel. Like, they don't put all their eggs in one basket. They invest in all areas of their life. So perhaps those of you who chose this group went through a period where work and career was your main focus, maybe because it had to be. Maybe that was out of necessity, or you just had tunnel vision on a really big goal. But that pie chart of your attention and your energy invested is definitely shifting in the future. I feel like work is not the most important thing to future you. I just heard it's not even in the top 3. So for some of you, this actually could be like you're literally walking away from something work related, like you are leaving a particular job or leaving a particular field. But if that doesn't resonate for you, the Eight of Cups can be a more sort of emotional walking away, as in you're getting over something. You're moving on from something. So this could be more symbolic in the sense of like, I don't center work in my life anymore. If someone asks me, what do you do? I might not even talk about my work. It's a feeling of not identifying with it as much anymore. It doesn't come up in conversation that much. There's more interesting things about me. There's more interesting things to talk about. And so I feel like you pour a lot of energy into not necessarily what makes you money or what gets you ahead, but just what makes you happy. And then ironically, that seems to lead to more abundance in your life. But I think future you definitely has a lot more time for hobbies and having fun and some form of self-care. I know that's kind of vague because self-care can manifest in so many different ways, but there is a feeling of taking more time to pamper yourself, taking more time for relaxation. Future you might take more naps or take naps at all if you don't do that in the present moment. I'm thinking of things, I'm honestly thinking of spa-like things a lot for some reason, like massages and facials, a pool. Maybe you have a pool. Maybe you go to a sauna. It's like doing more things for relaxation rather than always pushing yourself and pushing your body to the limits. You may work less hours. Like, I can't miss my self-care appointment. This is just a lot more of a focus for you. And in terms of what you are doing for work, it's definitely something that has a deeper meaning for you and somewhere where you feel aligned to your spiritual calling. So in the future, you're not doing a job just because it pays the bills. You're not doing a job because it's just a job. It's something that has a deeper significance for you. And if you are currently in a job that doesn't fulfill you and that feels like just a job, I want to tell you, you won't be doing that anymore. Some of you could, take this if it resonates, but you could be in some sort of healing sector. The work that you do could be involved in healing, relaxation, caring for others, or helping others take better care of themselves, like instructing or counseling others on how they can take better care of themselves. Or you're providing a healing experience for others. Okay, also this is maybe silly because I'm taking it super literally, but I just thought of a bartender because it's like you fill a cup. I don't know, that could be for some of you. Maybe you make juices, I don't know, like you make smoothies or something, filling up the cups. Or this could also be a trophy. Like you're winning a trophy, you're winning a medal. You could be in something competitive, which I feel like that's a whole other kind of energy coming through, but let's see what you look like. What does future you look like? We have the 10 of Pentacles. Okay, there's grandparents, parents, children. There's another white animal. I don't know, guys. You tell me. Okay, just because of the like generational energy going on here, the first feeling that I'm getting is that you are embracing the features of your like ancestors or of your roots. Maybe you're starting to notice ways that you resemble your parents or you resemble your grandparents, or yeah, there's something about embracing your natural beauty that is coming through here and embracing the features that you have inherited. Some of you may be like this future, you may have children or may have grandchildren, or if you already do, you can see how they grow up and see your resemblance to each other. And I think there's something about that that is very heartwarming. I'm also thinking about that message of not changing your body and not changing your appearance. That was for some of you. Maybe one of the things that makes you choose to do that, by the way, not that there's anything wrong with like changing things about your appearance. But the specific energy I'm picking up here is like maybe you choose to embrace your natural features because it like makes you feel more connected to like relatives or passed on loved ones, or you want to keep your natural features to show your children that these features are beautiful and so that they'll feel beautiful as well. Like there's some energy like that that is coming through. Like for example, I feel like I have my grandpa's nose, and so I like it a lot. It reminds me of him, and I feel connected to him because it's like, it's the Veriano nose. You know what I mean? And when I was a baby, when I was a little kid, I had the Marinelli nose, like the little round button nose. And I don't know, I just like looking at my face and seeing, like sometimes I'll see my paternal grandma a little bit, or I'll see my mom. And it's really nice. I also feel like with the 10, because the 10 can talk about completion or wholeness, there could be something about you taking a more holistic approach to your health and how you take care of your body. I also feel like some of you could be embracing aging as well. Take that if it resonates, just because there is like an elder in the front of the card with white hair. Okay. Who is with you? The 9 of Cups. Ooh. So this is like wish fulfillment, desires coming to fruition. So if there's specific people in your life right now and you're wishing that they will be in your life in the future, I want to tell you that yes, they are still there. As I'm saying this message, I also realize that maybe there's some people who aren't in your life yet and you're wishing that they will be in the future. And the 9 of Cups says, yes, your wish has come true. They are in your life. Everyone you want to be in your life is there. The 9 of Cups can also talk about stressful situations ending. So I do want to tell you, if there's anyone in your life who stresses you out, they are no longer in your life, or they have cleaned up their act. There's not really anyone in your life that stresses you out, at least not whom you would have to deal with on a regular basis. Sometimes I also see the 9 of Cups as a message of intimacy. So this could also be a sign that you have increased intimacy with the people in your life. What does future you value and cherish? The Wheel of Fortune. That kind of makes sense because I feel like there is a lot of messages at the start of the reading about future you learning to embrace uncertainty and embrace the unknown. There's a beautiful transition of going from kind of fearing the unknown to, I'm hearing like I'm kind of obsessed. Like, I think future you really cherishes the fact that they're not in control of everything and the fact that they feel safe to surrender to the universe. I think there's sort of a respect and awe at the magnitude of the universe and how infinitely intelligent it is, and how you get to be a part of that and how you fit in this web. I feel like future you really cherishes this maybe it sounds silly, but like the cosmic order of everything and your place in it. And the miracle that you get to be in this web and that you get to co-create with the universe. And I feel like future you loves surprises and loves the unknown and loves divine direction and redirection, because it's like, it's surrender. It's like, show me what you can do, universe. Show me where you're gonna take me and show me how good it gets. Future you has really mastered surrender. And I think they kind of love that about life. And at the bottom of the deck, for why they're proud of you, we have the Four of Pentacles. So this is absolutely, they're proud of you for not giving up. This is someone who's refusing to let go. They're proud of you for not giving up. There's a difference between surrender and giving up. They may seem, how do I say this? It may seem like, you know, when we talk about like, let go of the outcome, surrender to the universe, it may seem like you're letting go of your wish, but it's actually because you believe so strongly in your wish. You believe so strongly that the universe will deliver your wish that you can let go. So you're not letting go of your wish. You are surrendering to the universe to guide you there. And future you is saying, I'm so proud that you didn't give up. I'm so proud that you committed. I'm so proud that you stuck to this path. I'm proud of your values. I'm hearing that as well. I'm proud of you for setting your own values and for not being swayed by the outside world or being swayed by what is considered cool or what is considered impressive. You really stuck to your own path. And there's a stubbornness about you that I think future you finds really cool. Like, there's maybe certain things that you're more flexible about, but then there's certain things that you're like, these are my non-negotiables. I'm not changing my mind about this. This is what I want. This is how we're going to do it. And future you is saying, I think it's really cool how you stick to your guns like that and how you stick to your vision like that. Because you know when something is meant for you. You know. And you will refuse to give up until you've seen it through. And I'm going to keep doing that because I see where it's got me. The fact that you didn't give up has brought me to where I am now. So I'm going to keep not giving up. So future us can go to even cooler places. And when you really love something, when you really love someone, you keep it in your heart. And I think that's really cool about you too. You don't try to pretend like it's not there. You don't try to forget about it. You don't try to move on. When something's valuable to you, you hold on to it and you cherish it. And I think that's super cool. They could also be proud of some financial situations you've made. Financial decisions. I don't know why I said situation. Anyway, proud of some financial decisions you've made that have maybe improved your situation now. I'm proud of you for investing this. I'm proud of you for not blowing that money on that. Yeah. I'm just proud of your work ethic. That's coming through very strongly as well. They're proud of how hard you worked for yourself, for your future. Okay, so that is everything that I'm seeing here. In the extended reading, we are going to see the biggest difference between future you and present you, what they advise you to do in order to align with them more quickly or more smoothly, what they advise you not to do in order to align with them more quickly or more smoothly. And then we are going to ask them 3 yes or no questions that you can fill in the blanks for. So if that sounds good to you, You can find me on Patreon or Vimeo, whichever one works better for you. I'm going to have both linked down below. If you're going to leave the reading here, I want to say thank you so much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. If you enjoy my content and you'd like to find me elsewhere, I'm going to have linked down below my tarot reading Instagram, my personal Instagram, my Patreon, where we have the extendeds, but we also have like full length exclusive readings, and we have like 100 and I don't even know how many anymore. There's a lot. There's a lot, and there's 2 new ones every month. So that's going to be linked down below. It's a great time over there. This reading topic actually came from a suggestion on Patreon. So shout out to the community over there. And my music channel, which includes the intro song of this video, that is an original song. I'll also have my latest release linked down below. Thank you guys so much for supporting me, my channel, and anything I do. I really appreciate having you here, and I'm sending so much love to you, your past self, your present self, your future self, your higher self, and all of your spirit guides, your spiritual team, and all of your loved ones, both here on earth and in the other realms. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye. Hi, number 2s. So if you guys chose the moon card, which was the image for the lemon and grapefruit flavored tea, this is going to be your reading. So I just want to start off by going through the whole list of everything that's going to be covered in the reading today. We have the reading here on YouTube as well as an extended. Of course, here on YouTube, we are going to start by reading the channeled letter from your future self. And we are going to take some time just looking at your future self's overall energy. And then we are going to get into some specific questions. So we are going to see where they are, what they're doing, in terms of work-related things, what they're doing in terms of non-work related things, what they look like, who is with them, what do they value and cherish, and why they are proud of you, the current you. Then in the extended, which is going to be available on either Patreon or Vimeo, so you can choose whichever platform works best for you, we are going to see what is the biggest difference between this future version of you and the current you. We are going to see what your future self advises you to do in order to align with them more quickly or more smoothly, and what they would advise you not to do so that you can align with future you better. And then we are going to ask your future self 3 yes or no questions. I had the idea of doing this kind of format where you can create your own question. So I'm going to put timestamps in this part. So if there's like one of these questions that you don't want to ask or you already have your answer, you can skip it. But basically, we're going to ask future you, did I end up doing blank? So something that you've been wanting to do or something you've been thinking of or meaning to do, you can ask your future self, did I actually end up doing that thing? Number 2 is blank a significant part of my life? So you can ask your future self whether a certain person or thing or place ended up being a significant part of your life in the future. And then number 3 is, did blank end up happening? So this one doesn't even need to necessarily be about you. It can be like just something that happened in the world, and you can ask your future self, did that thing actually end up happening? Yeah, so that is going to be the full reading for today. Thank you so much for being here, and let's get into it. So here is your letter. I drew a little moon on it because you are the moon group. And your future self did not really write this as a formal letter. It's not like, dear you, blah, 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 from me. They just started writing. They just got right into it. All the tears you have cried are watering the seeds of future blessings. I know it sounds like a platitude, but as I'm coming to you from the future, I can tell you that this is the truth. The emotions you feel now are powerful catalysts for change in your life. That doesn't mean you need to be grateful to the situations and people who gave you those emotions. Be grateful to yourself for how you gave them space to exist. Listen to them. Wielded their secret power. As future you, I don't tolerate anyone discrediting you, including myself. I'm so proud of the person I've become, we've become. People will try to copy your light, but aren't willing to go through the actual journey of becoming someone like you. I hope you know how special you are. Hold on dearly to your uniqueness. I love your uniqueness. I love you. I want to mention that as I was writing this letter, the word alchemist or alchemy kept coming to my mind, like future you had done some powerful transmuting of energy and recognized your emotions are tools that you can work with. They are catalysts to bring about amazing change in your life. And I think it's because they used this phrase, wielded their secret power, as if discomfort, fear, pain, or suffering that we all go through has some sort of secret wisdom to teach you or some secret power that you can wield and make literal magic happen in your life. But most people don't take the time to really listen to that wisdom. That's kind of what I felt your future self saying. It's like, because we didn't shy away from those emotions, we sat down with them, we listened to them, we listened to their story, and they told us secrets about our next moves. They told us secrets about the future we can build. Future you did some kind of magic to craft your dream life. And future you recognizes how powerful they are. And they're no longer going to humble themselves. That's also something I felt from future you. Like, I'm amazing and I know it. And I'm not going to dismiss that. And I'm not going to make my light smaller. There's also this energy of you having many people who admire your journey, asking you how you did it. How did you create your dream life? How did you create your success? You may want to tell them, you may not want to tell them, but there was something about people seeing the end result of everything you've been through and wanting that end result, but maybe are not ready or willing to actually go through the journey that you went through. And so they'll never be able to duplicate your energy. I felt like there was something else I wanted to say, but then it kind of escaped me. But yeah, another thing that I think jumped out at me was, you can take difficult things that happen to you and make something good out of it, but that doesn't mean you need to be grateful for the difficulty. Because it's like, I would have found a way to make my dream life even without these difficulties. It's not like my difficulties made me, I made me. I just found out a way to use the difficulties that life threw at me. Yeah, so I felt a sense of immense gratitude and pride in you from your future self. And their piece of advice to you is to hold on dearly to your uniqueness. The things that maybe are a bit eccentric about you are the things that future you loves the most and holds on to very dearly and asserts them. Like, yeah, I'm weird. This is what makes me special. Okay, I also want to roll these dice to see what we can know about major changes in your life. Okay, we have number 7. So there is some kind of committed partnership in your future that your future self wants to tell you about. Woo! Oh my gosh, that for some reason that scared me, and then I didn't even look at what it was. I was like, ooh, and picked it up.
I don't know what that means. It was like, it made too loud of a noise. And I was like, ooh. Maybe it's like a dissonance. You're more aware of what or whom doesn't vibe with you, whose energy doesn't agree with you, and don't force yourself to stay in those spaces. And there's something about the swiftness, like the loud noise of the die, it irked me, and I was like, nope. And I just picked it up and moved on. You're really protecting your energy. Future you is really protecting your energy, group number 2. We have the sign of Aquarius. Okay, you've found your people. Because you embraced what is unique or quote unquote weird about you, you have found your like-minded people. Or your person. This could be like one person. You've found your soulmate who has the same eccentricities as you. You've found your tribe who has the same eccentricities as you. I also heard weird is the new normal. You might not even really use that word anymore. There's a feeling of someone who went from feeling like I'm weird to now I feel like trying to conform is actually the weird thing. Why isn't embracing your uniqueness the normal thing? That's the kind of world that I want to live in. I'm not weird, this world is weird. Okay. And we also have, Venus. This is harmonious relationships all the way. Venus, 7th house, Aquarius. Yeah. So future you is with their soulmate, with their soul family, or both. Please feel free to claim both, but it's like you have found your person. You have found your people. And when the vibes are bad, you just exit swiftly. Yeah, I just heard, and I'm sure I've quoted this before, but the people who truly deserve the benefit of the doubt often don't need it. Yeah. When you sniff out a bad vibe, like you're already out the door. That's the vibe that I'm getting. Okay, what else can we know about future you? We have death. That's so funny that I was talking about like transmuting energy and alchemy, because that very much fits with the death card. So future you has definitely gone through a process of personal transformation. Often with the death card, I feel some sort of message about reinventing yourself. There could be an era of your life that future you has allowed to end and has stepped into a new era. Woo! We have Pluto. Whoa, okay, the Scorpio energy is super strong with death and Pluto here, and it says transform. That's your keyword. 2 cards talking about profound transformation. And they both have skulls on them as well. That could be a significant symbol. A skull is making me think of that poison symbol. And I heard, and for some reason just there when I said symbol, I thought about the symbol on a drum set. Not like symbolism, but like that, the crashing symbol. Maybe someone is a drummer. I saw the skull as in the poison symbol, and then I heard like what is toxic to me might not be toxic to you. Or a person, like a person can be toxic to me without being toxic to someone else. It just means that we're not for each other. So it's no use sticking around to be like, oh, but I'm sure they're a good person. Yeah, okay, they could be, but if their energy is not for you, it's not for you. I also heard the scariest poison is the one that works slowly. So future you has escaped from a situation or from a dynamic that was kind of slowly eating away. And they said, no more of that. We have trust, and I feel like these are all versions of you. This is an angel deck, so I imagine that in the original artwork, this is an angel. Please do claim the message of angelic support if that resonates with you, because that is the original meaning. But when I first laid eyes on this card, I was like, okay, this is you, this is future you, and this is your soul, your higher self. And we all have trust in each other, and we are all connected to each other. I think you trust the process of your growth. I'm just looking at this butterfly. You're like the caterpillar who doesn't know what's next, but you trust the process and you surrender to entering into that cocoon and dissolving. I'm also noticing this little deer peeking out from the corner. Deer could be a significant animal or a significant symbol for you. I may actually go into my spirit animal book in just a second and see if there's a deer passage. What else can we know about future you? Oh my gosh, I am a unique soul. Literally, I am a unique soul that has so much to offer this world. That's crazy, the exact wording. The more you focus on the present moment, the more you align with your inner peace. Okay, if there's one thing about future you, it's that they are proud of their uniqueness and what that allows them to offer to the collective, and embracing their uniqueness has allowed them to find their person and their people. Okay, I'm gonna go into my spirit animal book and see what the deer says. It's on page 87, in case that's significant. You've been involved in some aggressive negative circumstances and need to seek out safe, nurturing situations and people. More than ever, you need to trust your gut instinct. You're poised for an enticing adventure, one that will take you down many different paths and lead to many important insights. Be gentle with yourself and others. There's also a crow on the other page, which could be significant as well. Yeah, you've escaped some heavy energy. I don't even want to say escaped, because that makes it sound like you somehow snuck out of it. No. You freed yourself from some heavy energy. And now at the slightest sign of it, you can redirect yourself. You will, I want to tell you, whatever BS you've been through, you will never go through it again. Wow, that's like very strong wording. Like you will never go through it again. Okay, let's get into our specific questions. Where are they? Where is future you? We have the 8 of Pentacles. I feel like future you is still in a lot of the same places or the same types of places, but on their own terms. Just one example to illustrate this energy, because it looks like this person is a painter. So it would be like, oh, I'm still in the studio, but I'm just making more of what I want to make. Or I'm still in the studio, but it's a different one. I'm still in the studio, but with different people. What future you is saying, what I like to do hasn't changed, but the conditions under which I'm able to do those things is different now. It's better now. And for many of you, I do think it's about external surroundings. So, okay, I just heard better facilities. So imagine this new, like you're still going to the gym, but now you're going to like a nicer one with more facilities. Maybe it has, I was talking about a sauna in group 1 too. I don't know why that's coming through again, but like maybe it has a sauna. Maybe it has like a protein shake bar. Maybe the trainers are more supportive. It's like you're in the same types of places because you still love to do what you do, but there's been an upgrade. There's been an upgrade in the environment. There's more supportive people around you. You get to engage with this space on your own terms. For some of you, there's also something about you've been able to revisit an activity that you used to love because now you have a healthier mindset about it. And more specifically, it's like you used to become obsessed about something with it, and that kind of ruined the fun. So just because we're talking about a gym, I can continue using that as an example, but of course, apply it to whatever you love to do. It would be like if someone lost the joy of exercising because they became obsessed with the results, or someone lost the joy of painting because they became too much of a perfectionist, or someone lost the joy of studying a language because their teacher was so strict, or their teacher was so boring, or their teacher was so mean, and it just like took the joy out of learning a language and what it's all about. And like you're getting to revisit something because that mindset is not there anymore. That pressure is not there anymore. You can do it on your own terms. I'm still doing the same things. I'm practicing the same things. I'm working on the same things, but it's so much better now. The conditions are so much better. I have more support. I have more freedom. I have more passion. I have more clarity in my vision. I'm still very particular, but without becoming a perfectionist. Without obsessing. I can engage in things without obsessing over them. I know when my work is good enough. What is future you doing in terms of work? We have the 7 of Wands. What is future you doing in terms of non-work related things. We have the Five of Cups. There's something about this Five of Cups in particular because it's not that the cups spilled on this person, it's that they let go of them. The Five of Cups is a really interesting one. I find, especially recently, I've been thinking about how differently it comes through depending on the deck. This looks like someone who is released the cups themselves to focus on the cups that are upright, to focus on what really matters to them. And this is coming through for what you're doing in your personal life. Okay, so this is Scorpio energy too. This release, this freeing yourself from heavy energies, I feel like for many of you, this was something in your personal life that was weighing you down and not allowing you to fully put your whole heart into pursuing a goal. I get the feeling that my group number 2 is like you are someone who really loves your job, or future you does. If you have a dream job and you're not doing it right now, future you is doing it. If you have a dream that you feel you haven't committed to as much as you would like to, future you is committing to it. Future you is prioritizing it. You know, sometimes there's things that we wish we spent more time on. There's things we wish we prioritized. I want to tell you, future you is committing to and prioritizing those things because they love you. Like they're doing this for you because they know this is what you want. This is what we've always wanted. And there was something in your personal life, it feels like some emotional weight or some burden or some stress that was pulling you away from your passions or pulling you away from a goal that really mattered, and you finally released it. There could have been something a bit bittersweet about that, because I do sometimes feel a bittersweet energy with the Five of Cups, but it's like it was too much. I'm hearing it was too much for one person to hold. And whatever burden you let go of, it wasn't yours to hold in the first place. And so there's no need to even feel guilty about it. Now, of course, you may have some feelings of guilt because you're human, but it was never yours to hold in the first place. So, and you may actually feel like you're being selfish when you start to prioritize yourself and your goal, to which I say, what's wrong with that? And to which I reiterate again, like these cups were not yours to hold in the first place. Yeah. So you're letting go of burdens. And then I'm hearing your life becomes a lot more manageable because you have a larger threshold for stress now. Like if you have this threshold of stress and then you have this thing in your personal life that's constantly taking up 80% of your capacity, that means you only have 20% left when you're working or when you're pursuing your dreams. So you get stressed a lot more quickly, you get overwhelmed a lot more quickly. Once you release these burdens, you can handle a lot more pressure in your work or working towards your goals. You have more capacity for that. I love messages. Like, I love to see someone reclaiming all their energy and protecting their energy. What does future you look like? We have, we have the Six of Wands. I wonder if there was a reason I thought of that gym example, because I feel like some of you, future you is working out. Future you is in their ideal form, and future you is feeling very confident. I'm also, the other thing I mentioned was drummer, and whenever I watch, my boyfriend likes to watch bands, like live performances on YouTube, and sometimes I'm just thinking, damn, like being a drummer must be so exhausting, because like you're using all your limbs, and sometimes like you're moving really quickly, and I'm like, are you guys out of breath by the end of it? Because that looks very intense. So I don't know, it's just interesting that like drummer energy was coming up, and then like someone who goes to the gym. That doesn't mean you necessarily specifically do those things, but I do think that you are exercising your body in some way, and you are enjoying the results. Like you are getting muscular, or you are getting snatched, or you are just starting to feel more confident because you see how strong you are. You're building up your strength, you're building up your endurance. You could be doing something in a group, like maybe you're going to some kind of classes, or yeah. But the I don't want to say the Six of Cups. The Six of Wands is beautiful because it shows you really feeling on top of the world, and feeling proud of yourself, and feeling a sense of accomplishment. It can also talk about an important milestone. So for those of you who have had a big goal with regards to your fitness level, or your physical appearance, or your physical health, I'm happy to say that this version of you in the future has achieved that goal. And a big part of it is because of the support they got, and the camera wants to focus on this, and your newfound emotional health. There's some, and probably like if this is your group and you've resonated with this up until now, you probably know what this big emotional burden is that's going away. Because it's like, how can let me get my inner world in place. Let me get my inner world sorted first. Then I can focus on my like physical body. With this newfound emotional health and this new support in your life, you're able to reach some really big goals. Also, you could be showing off a bit more when it comes to your fashion, when it comes to your personal style and personal expression. Six of Wands energy kind of makes me think of like peacock energy, or like male bird energy. Like, look at my beautiful, big, colorful feathers. Look at me strutting my stuff. So not really hiding away. You're flaunting your style. Maybe you're experimenting more. You're wearing more colorful things. Who is with future you? I mean, we've answered that a little bit. Who is with future you? Two of Swords, exactly who you chose. Exactly who you chose to be with you. This is kind of specific. I don't know why that was so hard for me to say. This is kind of specific, but you may have a lot of air signs around you, just because this is a Libra card. We had Libra energy with the 7th house, with Venus, and then Aquarius. So you could have a lot of air sign friends, or you could be in a relationship with an air sign. Just take that if it resonates. But this is also actually one of the cards in this deck that I often interpret a bit differently than its traditional meaning because of the way it's illustrated. For one, this person is not blindfolded, and the swords are not crossing each other. It feels like there's less tension. Rather than someone feeling stuck on a decision and feeling like they're forced to make a choice, this feels like someone who is calmly weighing options and making empowered choices. So when we ask the question, who is in your life, it's exactly who you deliberately chose to be in your life. So And it's like I said earlier, like if you're not vibing with someone, you do not have to deal with them. That is the kind of life that future you has. And I also think that future you, like if you really like someone, if you feel drawn to someone, you embrace that that is for a reason. And maybe future you is a bit less shy or a bit less reluctant about approaching people they feel drawn to or telling those people how they feel. But there's really a feeling of you actively choosing who is in your life. And I'm hearing like who gets a seat at your table. And more often than not, when you feel drawn to someone, when you want someone in your life, it's going to be reciprocated. It's so beautiful. Okay, we're gonna see who future you've, no, okay, it's what do they value and cherish, but I said who. So probably what future you values and cherishes the most is the people in your life, which makes a lot of sense. That came out so fast. The Empress, and that's Venusian energy. Yeah, it's the people you love, the people future you loves. That is what they value and cherish the most. And love itself. What they cherish the most is love itself. So that includes your own self-love. There could be also, this is all things Venusian, right? The Empress. So future you cherishes love, relationships, cherishes beauty, the beauty in the world, art. I think art is very important to future you. You could very well be an artist because we were talking about a painter, we were talking about a drummer. Values, I was going to say creativity, but then it's creation, values creation. So that includes the art that humans make, but it also includes like the natural world, all of creation. At the bottom of the deck, we have strength, and this bottom of the deck card represents why future you is proud of you. So they're proud of your strength, they're proud of your resilience. For me, this is another confirmation that future you has found your soul family. That's just a personal interpretation that I have with the strength card. It's like your soul's besties, your soul's best friends. You are definitely with your soul family in this future timeline. They have shown you the true meaning of love. They have shown you why you keep pushing through when things get hard, because you're never alone and because we're all in this together. So I do want to take this literally and say that future you is very proud of you because of your strength and resilience. But also, what I often see with the strength card is someone who refuses to let a cruel world harden their heart. And I do think that you have seen some of the cruelty in this world, and you refused to let it make you like cynical and believe that true love isn't real, or believe that humans are bad. Like you refuse to fall into that dark pit, I'm hearing, or you refuse to stay there. And you were brave enough to keep your heart open and to believe that people are good, and to believe that people want to love you and want to cherish you and want to pour into you. And that kind of true unconditional love exists in this world, and that the world needs your kind heart. Like to keep your heart open like that and to keep it soft, that is strong as hell. And that is courageous as hell. And so future you is really, really proud of you for that. And future you is very proud of the way you express yourself. This could be the way you communicate, like the way you communicate your needs, your ideas, your boundaries, I want to say the art you create again. Group number 2, if you're not like an artist already, future you may be getting into that a little bit. They're very proud of the things you create, whether it's just for your eyes only, or to share with others, whether it's to be monetized or not. That's irrelevant. They're proud of the essence of your creativity. They're proud of the way you connect to the divine and channel from the divine and put your own unique spin on it. And also, this could be talking about physical strength, because there was that message about you're reaching fitness goals and you're exercising and stuff. So future you could also be very, very proud about how you have trained your body and how you've quite literally become like physically stronger, and how you've remained consistent working towards your goals. Yeah, so this is everything I'm seeing. In the extended reading, we are going to see the biggest difference between this future version of you and the current you. We are going to see what future you advises you to do in order to align with them more quickly and more smoothly, as well as what they would advise you not to do. And then we are going to answer 3 yes or no questions where you can fill in the blanks. Did I end up doing blank? Is blank a significant part of my life? Did blank end up happening? So if that sounds good to you and you'd like to join me in the extended, you can find me on Patreon or Vimeo. Like I said, whichever one works best for you. If you're gonna leave the reading here, I wanna say thank you so much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. If you enjoy my content and you'd like to find me elsewhere, I'm gonna have linked down below my tarot reading Instagram, my personal Instagram, my Patreon, where we not only have the extendeds, but we also have full-length exclusive readings over there. I think we're at 120 now, and there's 2 new ones every month. It's a great time over there. And my music channel, which includes the intro song of this video, that is an original song. I'll also have my latest release linked down below. Group number 2 is thank you so much for supporting me, my channel, and anything I do. I really, really appreciate having you here, and I'm sending so much love to you, to your past self, your present self, your future self, your higher self, and all of your spirit guides, your spiritual team, and all of your loved ones, both here on Earth and in the other realms. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye! Hi number 3s, so if you guys chose the star card, which was the image for the apple and white peach flavored tea, this is going to be your reading. I just wanted to share something with you because before I started filming for your group, I had this visual in my mind of you in the future, and it was pretty vivid, so I think it's significant. First of all, you were living in a walkable city, and I saw you in a pretty nice, maybe I could say even a fancy part of town, like where all the expensive shops are, and there's a lot of greenery in this city, or at least in this particular part of town. So there's like a lot of pedestrians, and there's like beautiful trees and flowers lining the streets. And I saw you on a beautiful sunny day, and you were sitting on a patio. It's like you were at some kind of coffee shop. That was the vibe. And you were sitting outside in the patio, and there was one other person with you. It seemed like it was a woman, but that doesn't really matter. And it also seemed like a place that you frequent. So you either live in this really nice part of town, or you're able to go there often. And this is like the coffee shop that you like to go to. And you're sitting there with this important person and just taking it all in. And you're like, life is good. It was a really sweet visual. So I thought I would share that with you. And there is also a message coming through that in the future, you will have the opportunity to either significantly upsize or downsize something in your life. And this will be a favorable thing. So for example, if you are at a place in your life right now where you're like, yeah, I'm ready to take on more, I'm ready for growth, then you could claim the upsizing version of that message. But if you're feeling overwhelmed, like I have too much on my plate, or this has grown too big for me to handle, then you might want to claim the downsizing part of that message, but there was just something coming through like you're going to be able to change the scale of something that you're doing so that it's more suited to what you want your life to look like. Whether that's like your business, your house, your workload. Anyway, let's get into the reading. So we have the reading here on YouTube today, as well as an extended here on YouTube. Of course, we are going to start by reading this channeled letter from your future self. And then we're going to take some time to look at your future self's overall energy. Then we are going to answer some specific questions. So we're going to see, where are they? What are they doing in terms of work? What are they doing in terms of non-work related things? What do they look like? Hello, crow. I don't know if you could hear that. There's a crow cawing outside. What do they look like? Who is with them? What do they value or cherish? And why future you is proud of you. 333 as I'm saying that. Then in the extended reading, which is going to be available on either Patreon or Vimeo, so you can choose whichever one works better for you, we are going to see what is the biggest difference between this future version of you and the current you. What would future you advise you to do in order to align with them more quickly or more smoothly? And what would they advise you not to do? And then we are going to do 3 yes or no questions. I had the idea of sort of formulating questions and allowing you to fill in the blanks, and I'm going to put timestamps for these. So if there's one of these questions that you don't have a question for, or you've already gotten your answer, you can skip it. But for question number 1, we're going to ask future you, did I end up doing blank? So that thing you've been thinking about doing, that thing you've been meaning to do, did you actually end up doing it? Then we're going to ask them, is blank a significant part of my life? So this could be a person, a thing, a place. Did it end up being a significant part of your life in the future? And then number 3, this one doesn't necessarily have to be about you. It could just be any occurrence in the world, but you can ask your future self, did blank end up happening? Did they end up making another season of that show? I don't know, it could be literally anything. So yeah, that's the reading that we are going to be doing today. So thank you so much for being here, and let's read your letter. So I'm going to read this through, and then I want to talk about it a little bit because I was sort of channeling the words to go in the letter, and at the same time, it's like I could hear the thoughts that were going through their head as they wrote the letter. So we'll talk about those too. And when I say they, I mean you, because it's future you. But anyway. Dear me, if I could ask one thing of you, I wish that you'd leave more memories for me. Take photos and keep them. Write notes, back up your phone. I want to look back on this time of my life, and I want to remember you accurately. I want to make sure I do. Sometimes I feel like I can't. Some of our plans have changed over the years. I don't know how you would feel about that, but I can tell you I don't regret anything. Time goes by very quickly, and it only feels faster the older I get. But ironically, the older I get, the less hurried I feel. You're exactly where you're meant to be. I don't know how you'd feel about that either. I just feel like it all makes sense. Where I ended up now, who has found me, it feels like a plan greater than anything I could have come up with, and yet so tailored to the unique frequency of my heart. It's crazy how life knew it before I did. So this is actually the only letter I think where there's some hint about how far in the future this is, because future you said some of our plans have changed over the years. So I do think that this is a future version of you that is at least a couple of years into the future. And as I was writing this letter, there was a strong feeling that future you looks back on your current life as sort of the good old days. Like they have some sort of nostalgic feeling towards the present moment that you're in right now. But for some reason, they felt that maybe you wouldn't agree with that, or you wouldn't understand why they're so nostalgic about this moment. Like, what do you mean this is good old days? The crow is cawing outside again. And I also heard a plane go by in the sky. So those could, of course it was in the sky. So those could be significant signs for you. Is that another one? I think that's another plane. That's crazy. Some of you could be moving overseas, or you could be traveling more in the future. But yeah, they're asking you to document your current chapter, because sometimes, I think it was Andy Bernard from The Office who said, sometimes you don't know you're in the good old days until you've left them. Maybe that's a quote from someone else, but I could have sworn someone told me it was Andy Bernard. I watched The Office, I just don't remember him saying that. I thought it was interesting that they said, future you said, take photos and keep them. I don't know if this was meant to be for everybody, but I sort of got the feeling that some of you who chose this group maybe don't take a lot of pictures of yourself, or don't appear in a lot of photos, or you may delete photos that you take of yourself, like, oh, I don't like the way I look, or this is a bad selfie, and future you was wanting you to keep them, wanting you to keep memories that they can look back on. They may have a hard time remembering accurately all the details of this time of your life, and someday they're going to want to remember them. There's a feeling of you wanting to remember yourself accurately. And another feeling that I got while writing this is that sometimes you may remember yourself in not as kind of a light as you could. Like, you could be more forgiving towards past versions of yourself, or cut them some slack, but you know, hindsight is 20/20, and so you might look back a bit harshly and say like, oh, why did I do that? I should have done this. And this future version of you, it feels like they don't want to do that. They want to look back objectively, and look back with kindness, and look back with fondness. And so they're like, just keep some moments for me so that I can look back and love all the past versions of me, and remember the good days. Future you said some of your plans have changed, and they're not sure how you would feel about that. So it did seem like there was a resetting, I want to say, a resetting of priorities. And I also thought this was interesting. Who has found me? I don't know why they wrote it like that. Instead of just saying like, who is in my life? There's a feeling of someone found you. And I guess that gave it a little bit of a destined feeling. So I think future you was hinting that there's someone or multiple people in your life in the future that they feel are destined encounters, that they could have never planned, that they could have never predicted. And the unique frequency of their heart, it felt like there's you, right? And you have all these plans for your future in your head. But regardless of what may be going on in your head, your heart has its own unique frequency. Your heart is singing its own unique song. And it's going to keep singing that song and keep emitting that frequency regardless of what is going on in your head. And life is going to hear the frequency of your heart rather than whatever you're trying to put out with your head, because your heart is stronger. Future you feels like life recognized the frequency of my heart and responded to it. Maybe before I even knew what song my heart was singing. The universe responded to that, and the universe brought me what my heart needed, not whatever my mind was trying to plan. There was a feeling of acknowledgement of, I don't know if you would call it a divine plan, but a divine response to your heart's frequency. I don't know why, but I just got the feeling of, and maybe this is just for some of you, you like creating a brand or creating a business. Yeah, that just came out of nowhere. But anyway, let's roll some dice to see if we can get more insights about the areas of your life that are changing. We have, wow, we have the number 9, the 9th house. So we heard those planes in the background, or at least I heard them. I definitely think overseas travel is in your future. Some of you could be finally going to your dream destination. I just heard having your dream wedding, which is interesting, or your dream honeymoon. Even if you're already married, some of you could be like finally getting around to going on a honeymoon that you didn't get to do in the past, or you could just be doing it over because you can, or going on an anniversary trip or something like that. That's very interesting that that came through. And yeah, I do think that some of you could be relocating overseas if that's something that you want to do. The energy is definitely there for that. We have Saturn, maturity, discipline, and we have Aquarius. You could have Saturn in Aquarius or Saturn in Sagittarius. You could have Saturn in the 9th or 11th house. There's a feeling of maturity and becoming more optimistic the older you get. And I guess that kind of reflects what future you wrote in the letter. Like, time is going by faster and faster, and yet I feel less hurried. It's like this recognition of my sense of urgency has nothing to do with the passing time. It's like self-imposed. And I feel like future you is slowing down a lot and is not concerned with reaching certain milestones by a certain time or by a certain age. And there's a maturity in that. I really think it's going to be true for future you that the older they get, the less fucks they give and the more at peace they are. That's another plane. There is another plane. Wait, maybe that was a car. If so, that was a big car. Anyway, there's vehicles. There's vehicular action going on. What else can we know about the energy of future you? We have the Magician. Beautiful. Yeah, you're definitely enjoying luxury in the material sense in the future. You either have, I mean, it's whatever you like, right? It's whatever you like. That's funny that Libra came out because Bruno Mars is Libra and I'm singing his line in the song. Oh my gosh, I'm losing my train of thought now. Whatever you like, right? This could be like you have some designer fashion items. Maybe you have like a really state-of-the-art TV or computer. Maybe you have like a $6,000 bed that's like sleeping on a cloud. Maybe you have all of those things. But in terms of material possessions, you definitely have got comfort, convenience, and style. You've got it all. I feel like you have a really nice house. I heard limited space. So the living space itself might be a bit small, but it's very beautiful and it's in a very good location. I also think it could just be because you live somewhere where houses are a bit smaller. Like maybe there's a lot of people or there's just not a lot of space in the city or something. Or you just don't need that much space. I don't know. It's not a bad thing. How do I know if I really want something or if I just think I should want it? What I really want is what's gonna manifest. If you're only pursuing something because you think you should, it's not gonna manifest. Okay. We have Yang, proactivity, expression, doing, and forward motion. There's a lot of masculine energy going on here. Everything that has come out so far, now that I think about it, is masculine energy. Obviously, Yang, that's divine masculine energy. The Magician represents masculine energy or divine masculine energy. And then Aquarius, this is related to the sign of Sagittarius, the 9th house, so that's also masculine. And then Saturn is like the father, represents a father figure in the zodiac. So lots of masculine energy going on. And I think, obviously you don't have to be a man, but I do think that this is indicating you connecting with your masculine energy. And I heard being a doer. Because the Magician is like, when you want something, you make it happen. And you believe in your ability to do so. And then we also have on the keywords here, doing and forward motion. So something about future you, I think, is that when they are interested in something, when they feel called to something, when they want to manifest something, they don't delay and they do whatever they can do right now. They do whatever is in their power right now. And that doesn't come from a place of urgency or a place of hurrying. It comes from a place of enthusiasm and like recognizing what is in your power and what you can do and what you can start on right now. Why do I want to say folding and putting away the laundry as soon as it's done? Maybe that's like very specific for someone, but like when something pops up that needs to get done, you're like, okay, and you just get her done. Man, I got a letter from the city hall. I have to go there and sign up for something, and I have been putting that off. But future you, they would be on it. And that also goes for things that you want to do, like, oh, that hobby looks interesting. I would like to try that. Oh, look, there's a class next week. I think I'll go to that. Like, you're just enthusiastic and you're doing shit as soon as you can. I also think that's part of like getting older and getting more mature, because you're like, let's just try it. And you're not thinking about, oh, but what will people think if I do this or that? You're just vibing in the moment. We have within the next few weeks, which is interesting because the letter seemed like a version of you a few years from now, but there could be something happening within a few weeks from the time that you're watching this that shifts you into a new timeline. I'm hearing the word activation. Something happening in a few weeks that is like an energetic activation for you. Maybe your divine masculine energy is going to be awakened by either like a transit, an astrological transit, or a fated encounter with someone that's happening in the next few weeks. This who has found me could be finding you in the next few weeks. I want to say 3 to 4. Whoa. How many is that? I'm not going to take all of those because that's too many. There's 8. Or maybe for some of you it's 8 weeks. Something happening within the next 8 weeks. Take care of your rarity. My brain read that as anxiety, which is weird. Take care of your anxiety. Take care of your rarity. Not choosing is still choosing. That's actually very interesting in light of all this yang doer sort of energy. When you choose to not take action, that is also a choice. And maybe you tell yourself stories like, oh, I'm not good at making up my mind. I'm not good at taking action. And future you says, well, actually you are, because when you choose to do nothing, that's also an action. When you stay where you are, when you don't say anything, that's also a choice that you're making. So it's not, I guess it's not about doing versus not doing. It's about pivoting your energy. I read this as take care of your anxiety, which is quite strange. Future you, like for those of you who do struggle with anxiety, overthinking, negative thoughts, I think those will be significantly improved for future you. And there's a sort of shift in how you frame it. Like, I don't identify with my negative thoughts, and it's okay. And in fact, it can be beneficial to acknowledge, like, I may be more prone to anxious thoughts than others. I may be more prone to negative thoughts than others. That doesn't mean it's a fundamental part of who I am. It's just a tendency that I have to be aware of. And so I can proactively take steps so that that doesn't happen. For example, like if I don't get enough sleep, I am going to be anxious. Like that's just something I know about me. And it's not like I'm identifying as an anxious person. It's just like a fact about myself that I know. So I proactively try to get more sleep so I can take care of myself. Maybe there's a message in here about taking care of your physical or mental health in a more proactive way, not dealing with things when they happen, but stopping it before it starts, kind of thing. Breakouts is also coming to my mind for some reason. Like not doing skincare to make a breakout go away, but doing things in your daily life, in your daily habits to prevent it before it even starts. Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna get into the tarot now and answer some more specific questions. And I'm just going to turn on the air conditioning. It might be a bit noisy, but it's getting hot in here and the weather is just hot recently and the camera might decide she's too hot and overheat and turn off. So we're gonna cool it down for her. Okay, your future self, where are they? We know that they're in a very nice city or a very nice part of town, in a walkable city. We know that there's nice weather. And they may possibly be overseas. We have the Devil. This definitely makes me think of a big city, because the Devil can talk about like hard work and ambition. It's related to the sign of Capricorn. Like a place where a lot of wealthy people live, where a lot of influential people live. Could be a place where a lot of celebrities live for some of you. A capital city. If I just take this energy very generally, it could be a capital city, a city with a large population. And you're thriving there, I do have to say. I think you're doing very well. I want to say, like, there could be an energy of there's some superficial people or some fake people. Like, the place where you are kind of draws in that type of person. It also draws in a lot of really cool and awesome people. But yeah, that's why I think it's like a big city or a highly sought after place to live. So you just have to, you know, you don't interact with everybody. I don't have to tell you that. What are you doing in terms of work? We have the Hanged Man. And what are you doing in terms of non-work related things? The King of Cups. Interesting how the Hanged Man is like looking over at the King of Cups. For those of you who are wanting to make a change in your career, I feel like future you is saying it hasn't happened yet, but the path to make that change has become clear. So there's nothing to worry about. I feel like, you know, the Hanged Man, I am interpreting it literally in the sense of it's this kind of awkward in between. The Death card comes after it, which is the change and transformation. And this is like right before the change. We know it's coming. We can feel it coming, but it hasn't come yet. We're still waiting for something. So it feels like, I don't want to say you're stuck where you are when it comes to your career, but maybe the change you're hoping for hasn't happened yet. But future you is saying, don't worry, because we see the vision and we see the way there. We're just waiting for some things to come through, or we're waiting for some other factors to line up first. And I think future you is wanting to align with something that they're more passionate about. I am getting the feeling of a job or a career path that you once did really love, but priorities change and you change. And I feel like it's like as you got older, you're like, well, I don't want to do this forever. Maybe it's time to try something new. Maybe it's time to turn a new leaf. I would even say for those of you who are watching this and you're like, I have no intention of changing my job. I really like what I'm doing. Future you might feel a bit differently about it. They did say some of our plans have changed over the years. I remember the job that I had before I came to Japan. I was like, I love this job. I'm gonna do it forever. And someone else in the same job was like, no, like you don't want to do this job forever. And I was like, yes, I do. But alas, I did not. The narrator's like, she in fact did not want to do this job forever. So you never know. It's like something that you thought was going to be forever wasn't, and that's okay. So that's for those of you who right now feel like you don't want to change in your career. Future you might feel a bit differently about that. They might be craving something new. And then for those of you who are wanting the change, I think future you is saying it hasn't happened yet, but don't worry, because we're figuring it out. We're gonna figure it out. In terms of what you're doing non-work related, I feel like there's some new love that has entered your life that you are really enjoying. And I do think it's a person. There's been a few different important people who have been showing up throughout this reading. There was the energy of like a dear friend who I felt at the very start. You were sitting on the patio with them. So when you're not working, you could be spending time with your dear friends. There was a wedding mentioned, so there is the implication of a spouse. You could be spending time with your spouse or the person who's going to become your spouse. For those of you who are single, there's definitely a life partner energy for this future version of you. And for some of you, only take this if it resonates, obviously, but I feel like there could be children in your life in this future. And so when you're not working, you're spending time with them. And if you do resonate with having a family and children, maybe that's like a factor in why you haven't been able to make certain changes in your career yet. Like just waiting for certain things to line up because it will affect them as well, that kind of thing. But whatever it may be, I definitely see you surrounded by love. I think all of your friends in your life are your best friends. So it's like rather than having many casual friends, you have like a few or maybe even a lot of really, really, really good friends. Like you don't do friendships half-heartedly. You love your friends with your whole heart. And I think your, romantic love is wonderful, but I think your platonic relationships, your friendships are going to be so fulfilling, and you're going to experience a really special kind of intimacy and unconditional love and support from your friends. What do you look like? What does future you look like? The Knight of Pentacles. Probably not that different, honestly, which is kind of a flex because I get the feeling that you're not really aging. And you're also, if you are trying to make changes in the way you look, I feel like you're taking an approach that is like gradual. It's not drastic. And if you are making changes, I feel like they are subtle. The things that you notice on like a subliminal level. Maybe your eyebrows are like 1 millimeter longer or shorter or something like that. Or your bangs are like 1 centimeter longer or shorter. Just making these tiny little tweaks. Okay, some of you, I heard like you're changing your glasses, and that just changes the whole way your face looks, or changing your hair by 1 shade, or making your necklace chain a bit longer. It's like interesting. There's an energy of you experimenting with little things and things that you can keep doing sustainably. Like, I'm hearing that you don't want to do anything drastic or anything crazy, because knowing you, and I don't mean this as a diss, but it's like knowing me, I'm not going to keep up with that. So for one example, like let's say you had black hair and you're not going to bleach it because you're like, I know I'm not going to be doing my roots every month. Like I'm going to get tired of that. Or I know I'm not going to go get a new set of nails every 2 weeks. Like that's a pain in the ass. You're not going to do anything that's a pain in the ass to maintain. That's what I mean. Do I have to go back and keep fixing this? Then no. Do I have to, like, yeah, there's something about upkeep that's like, and it's not even like I'm too lazy. It's just I'm being realistic that I can't be bothered to do that. So you might be embracing a more natural look, or just making smaller, more subtle changes. For those of you who have been dyeing your hair, you could be going back to your natural color, or like me, I stopped doing gel nails and like I put on press-ons for videos, but usually I just have my regular old naked nails. Yeah, like going back to basics. And you could be changing things about your body or about your fitness, but I feel like you would be doing it in a gradual and sustainable way. You also could be, I feel like you have a very interesting wardrobe in the future, because it's not like you're going for a particular aesthetic or you're trying to portray a certain level of wealth. You're just taking what you like. So one day you could wear like an expensive designer item, and then another day you could wear something that you thrifted, or you could wear something that you traded with your friend, or you could wear something from Uniqlo, or you could wear something from your late great-great-grandfather, like his ring. I don't know. It's like, no, it's very unique. Nobody could have fashion exactly like you. What? Oh, who is with them? Very important. Who is with future you? Who has found you? Who is gay? Why are you gay? Okay. Okay, we have the world. Yeah, I feel like my group number 3s, there are many of you who will be living in another country, or you could be moving to a city that has like a lot of diversity, because the world has a feeling of traveling abroad or exploring other cultures. You could be living somewhere where a different language is spoken, or yeah, like you get to meet people from all over the world. So I feel like you either have like friends who are all over the world or who come from different parts of the world. You could also have clients or business partners who are all over the world, and I'm hearing that's kind of like an excuse to travel. I do feel like you have flexibility in your lifestyle. I always feel like it's such a bummer when people go to another country for business and then they don't even have time to explore that place. They're like, no, I just like went to the conference and then went back to my hotel and then I came home. But I feel like you have more flexibility and more openness in your schedule, that you can be like, oh, like I have a business trip to this city. Well, let me just book a week there so I can hang out and so that I can see what's going on. I'm an international man. Jump on a plane, go to the next land. That's you. That's a great song, by the way. Yeah, so I feel like you have quite a diverse group surrounding you. And I think that when it comes to your relationships, you really feel very whole and complete. I actually get the sense that you have a lot of friends, and yet they're all like really, really good friends. You know, we often talk about like having a lot of acquaintances versus having just a few good friends. But I feel like you have a lot of good friends. And I feel like you have friends in other parts of the world and you can go and visit them. You may even be married to someone who is from another country, and then like you get to travel to visit their family, and then like you use that as an excuse to like go on vacation and go sightseeing. Very interesting. You may also have friends who are like famous or in the public eye. That may or may not be relevant in your relationship to them. Could just be a random fact about them that doesn't influence your friendship at all, but I get that feeling with the world. what does future you cherish? What does future... Okay, 2 cards coming out at the same time. We have the Ace of Wands and the Chariot for what you value and what you cherish. Again, I feel like it's travel. I feel like you really value travel. I feel like that's something that will really, really enrich your life, like with the World, with the 9th house, the Chariot. I feel like I have a deck where the Chariot is either... Oh wait, it might be a magic carpet, but something that flies in the sky. So there's like the horse-drawn carriage, he's going somewhere. Yeah, I feel like traveling the world, or just, yeah, getting to see the world and getting to have new experiences is something you cherish a lot. Aces talk about new beginnings. The Ace of Wands is particularly spontaneous and adventurous. And when I see aces, sometimes I think about firsts, like trying things for the first time. So I think something that future you really values is like travel or exploration and getting to go on adventures and try new things. I would say future you's traveling style is to not make a super packed itinerary and just kind of see where the day takes you. See what the vibe is. I also think future you really does value having the freedom to like wake up every day and see what the vibe is and just take things one day at a time. So I do think that future you has crafted a life where you have that flexibility. And then at the bottom of the deck, for why future you is proud of you, we have the Page of Wands, which this is really sweet because I feel like we've been talking a lot about how like you're getting older and you're getting more mature, but the Page of Wands, pages in general, but the Page of Wands, 4444, as I'm saying this, is a childlike energy, and especially the excitement and enthusiasm that a child has and the zest for life that a child has and the magic that a child feels in life. So I feel like one of the reasons future you is so proud of you is because you've taken all the good things about getting older, but you've also kept all the good things about being a child and like integrated those into your personality. I think future you is really proud of you for nurturing your inner child, for seeing your inner child, for considering them, for not ignoring them, for giving them a place in your life, for letting them take the driver's seat sometimes and embracing their adventurous spirit. Future you is really happy that you did that, and I think future you is continuing to do that. So yeah, and when I say you take all of the good things about being an adult, I'm thinking about you have more money. Obviously, you have more autonomy over your life and your decisions. You give less of a fuck about what people think. And then you keep all the good things about being a child, which is like things feel like magic. Things feel like miracles. You believe anything is possible. So you have the best of both worlds, Miss Hannah Montana. Yeah, so I think that is all of the messages. In the extended reading, we're going to see the biggest difference between this future version of you and the current you, what future you advises you to do in order to align with them more quickly or more smoothly, what they advise you not to do, and then we are going to answer the 3 yes or no questions of your choice. So you can ask your future self, did I end up doing blank? Is blank a significant part of my life in the future? And did blank end up happening in the future? So if that sounds good to you and you'd like to join me in the extended, you can find me on Patreon or Vimeo, whichever works for you. I will have both of them linked down below. If you're going to leave the reading here, I want to say thank you so much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. If you enjoy my content and you'd like to find me elsewhere, I'm gonna have linked down below my tarot reading Instagram, my personal Instagram, my Patreon, where we not only have the extendeds, we also have full length exclusive pick a card readings. We have like 120 or something right now that you can access all of them, and 2 new ones every month. It's a great time over there. And my music channel, which includes the intro song of this video, that is an original song. I will also have my latest release linked down below. Thank you guys so much for supporting me, my channel, and anything I do. I really appreciate having you here, and I'm sending so much love to you, your past self, your present self, your future self, your higher self, and all of your spirit guides, your spiritual team, and all of your loved ones, both here on earth and in the other realms. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye bye!